All right, let's dive in. We're going to tackle something that I know has driven so many of you absolutely nuts. I'm talking about that silent, workflow breaking nightmare, unit conversions. You know what I mean, right? If you've ever wasted hours writing custom code just to switch, say, kilometers to miles or Celsius to Fahrenheit, well, this one's for you. I mean, let's be real for a second. How many times has one of your workflows just completely broken? All because some API decided to send you metric data when you were expecting imperial. You're pulling stuff from IoT sensors, from spreadsheets, different databases, and it feels like they're all speaking a different language, doesn't it? It's just this constant battle of patching things up with fragile custom code. Okay, check this out, because this slide really tells the whole story. On the left, you've got the before. And yeah, it's exactly what it looks like. A brittle, manual mess of code where you're just praying you didn't fat finger a conversion factor. But then look at the after on the right. It's so clean. It's declarative. You just state what you want. This isn't just a slightly better way of doing things, you guys. This is a complete mind shift in how you solve this problem.
So the big question is, how do we get to that beautiful after state? Well, the answer is a community node for N8N called CalcsLive. And trust me, it's pretty much a plug-and-play revolution for how we deal with calculations and data in our automations.
And this is the whole point, really. This node lets you think in terms of physics or engineering or whatever your field is, not in tedious conversion formulas. You get to focus on the logic of your workflow and just trust that the node is gonna handle all that messy unit complexity for you, automatically. And when I say it handles complexity, I really mean it. The node has native support for over 540 different units. Just think about that for a second. We're not just talking about your basic kilometers to miles or pounds to kilograms. No. We're talking about a massive range of scientific and engineering measurements, all of it handled for you right out of the box. And get this, those 540 plus units, they're organized into more than 64 different categories. So whether you're pulling temperature data from a weather API, pressure readings from industrial sensors, or doing some complex materials stress analysis, the logic is already baked right in. This thing's got you covered. Okay, so here's a really important point. This isn't just some simple conversion tool. To really get what makes it so powerful, you have to understand the philosophy behind it, and it's all about one word: composability. Seriously, the best way to think about it is like you're building with Legos.
So what is a composable architecture? It just means that you build these small, self-contained little calculation components that you can then reuse and snap together in a million different ways. So instead of building one giant, clunky, monolithic calculation, you build small, smart, and totally reusable pieces.
And here's where it gets really powerful in the real world. Imagine you build one single, reusable calculation for mass, just one. Now you can take that same exact calculation and plug it into a workflow for a cylinder's volume, or a box's volume, or a sphere's volume. You build the logic for mass once, and then you just reuse it everywhere. It's awesome. This quote from the docs just nails it, right? Instead of creating separate mass calculations for every shape, you build modular, reusable calculation components. That's it. This whole approach saves you a ridiculous amount of time, it slashes the chances of making a mistake, and it makes your workflows so much easier to understand and to scale up later. It's the definition of building smarter, not harder. Okay, so this whole composability idea is great in theory, but what does it actually look like in the real world? Like, what can you do with it? Well, this is where we move from the how it works to the wow, look what it does. Let's talk about how this gives your everyday automation some serious superpowers. Basically, the CalcsLive node becomes a universal translator for all your data. You got a Google Sheet with metric data that needs to go into a US database that only speaks imperial? Done. You're pulling from a dozen different IoT sensors, all spitting out different units? Bam, you can normalize them instantly for a clean dashboard. That API sending you Celsius when your email alert has to be in Fahrenheit, it's handled, just like that, seamlessly. And the result of all this? A huge simplification of your workflows. I mean, think about it. What used to take like 5 different nodes plus a custom code block for all the conversions can now be done with one single reliable CalcsLive node. That means your workflows are cleaner, they have way fewer points of failure, and they're just infinitely more reliable. All right, so you're probably thinking, this sounds great, but how hard is it to get started? Well, the best part is you can get your first win with this in like 5 minutes. Seriously, let's make this real. I'm going to walk you through just how simple it is to get this set up. Okay, I'm giving you a 5-minute challenge. Ready? Step 1, create a simple calculation on the CalcsLive website and just grab its article ID. Step 2, add the CalcsLive calculator node into your N8N workflow. Step 3, pop that article ID right in there. And finally, step 4, add your input values and just watch the magic happen. All the unit stuff is handled. It really is that straightforward. And hey, here's a little pro tip to make it even easier. When you're setting up the node, make sure you choose enhanced mode. You do not need to be a JSON expert to use this thing. It just gives you these super simple drop-down menus to pick your inputs and outputs, and it even auto-discovers everything that's available from your calculation. It's completely guided, holding your hand the whole way. So there you have it. That's the CalcsLive node. It's powerful, it's composable, and honestly, it's an incredibly user-friendly way to finally tame that unit conversion nightmare in NN. Which, just leaves me with one last question for you to think about. What's that one messy, complex, error-prone workflow that you're going to simplify first?